Okay. So we continue.
Bet.
So no, we're in Torah Or.
Torah or bet.
We in the middle of bet.
No. What do you mean?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Please.
Yes.
We're now he's addressing the Zohar Kadosh.
Yeah, we were up the different
The Bchinot, what? The Bchinot of the Olamot. That
yeah.
every Olam is Shamayim Va'aretz.
Atzilut Bria Yetzira Nasiya.
Okay.
I wrote it down.
Okay. So he says the following. והוא כמו שכתוב בזוהר. That's what the Zohar brings. פירש הרמנותא דמלכה. At the beginning of the creation, מלכה גליף, גליפה, בתהירו עילאה. הקדוש ברוך הוא גלף, he חקק. Yes, he digged out, like, yeah. והוצינה דקרדנותה, a very strong light. נפיק, and he put it, go סתים דסתימה, inside the hidden of the hidden. מרזה דאינסוף, as a secret of the concept of אינסוף. קוטרה בגולתה, the crown of the גולגולת. מאיץ באסקה. So basically what he's saying, yes, that when that's the beginning, ממש beginning of the Zohar. That הקדוש ברוך הוא, yes, חקק, he carved out, okay, and then he created a very strong light that he hid inside the hidden of the hidden. Okay.
What is the hidden of the hidden?
Hidden of the hidden is the mocha setima of the atik. You're asking questions.
What does that mean?
There's no, I cannot explain to you. It's too complicated. You have to understand what the atik is. Imagine a Russian puppet.
Yeah.
You open and you open and you open. Yes. The one that's all the way inside, you don't see it. You don't see, right? So consider the one that's all the way inside as that's light. Okay?
That's the light?
Yes, inside that one. That's the light, and that little piece is called the atik. The atik is the first expression. Hold on. Yeah, it's the first expression. With me, of the creation. That's the first structure, the systematic structure created of the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is called the Atik. Atik is the old.
I know what the Atik means, but okay, yeah. So that's the first thing that was created?
The first, cannot say the first, yes.
Was there anything? No. So what was before that?
There was nothing. There was Or and Sof. And that's he's going to explain. The first that was Or and Sof. Look, that's all I can tell you
So
for you to understand.
Wait. I'm trying to understand. So
the will, the Atik, that light, yes, that was hidden in the brain of the Atik, that's Satim the Setime, the hidden of the hidden, right? Because the Moach, the brain is hidden inside the body, and that body specifically is hidden from all the other bodies because it's so close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and so high in its Kedusha. Okay. So compared to the rest of the spiritual creations, they're all hidden. This one is hidden to the other.
So what did he carve? He carved where?
1 second.
Oh. Okay. I thought carved was before that. Okay.
The carving came before that. For 1 second, I'm explaining to you what Atik and Setim is Setima. Okay. So that light. Hold on. Okay. So that Atik, yes, we don't really have any intellectual grasp because it is so spiritual and so close to Kuchabrich and to the beginning of the creation. What we know about it, it's its presence and what HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed to us of that Bechina. That's called the Atik. The Mohin of the Atik, which is that spark, that light, which is extremely intense, yes, and will only be revealed by the time of Mashiach, okay, is hidden, was placed inside the Mohin, inside the, if you will, the brain, yes, of the Atik.
Okay.
Okay, now where was the Atik placed himself? That's the Hakika. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu created a vacuum, and read what he says. Read what he says, because he's going to bring a pirush. הוא פירש הרב חיים ויטל בעץ החיים בתחילתו. שתחילת הכל היה מציאת אור פשוט. In the beginning it was only a simple light. ונקרא אור אינסוף, and חכמים call it the infinite light. ולא היה שום חלל. There was no space, ושום אוויר, and there was no אוויר פנוי. Nothing was empty. There was no emptiness, no concept of emptiness, and no concept of space. וכשעלה ברצונו להאציל ולברוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא decided that he wanted to become an atzil, like a noble, meaning noble, which is referred, in reference to, and livro, and to create. צמצם את עצמו.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You're breaking up. באמצע האור שלו, בנהד במרכז, שבנס אחר הכל. שהוא עשה. יש כדי להבין איך יצאו אלומות שיש לנו.
What did he do?
Can you hear me?
There was, before all
Right.
creation, before there was all creation, there was Or Ein Sof. That's what
Yeah.
we relate to the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as Or Ein Sof. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided that he wants to give as a Matzi, as a noble person, as a noble, the concept of noblesse, and he decided that he wants to create, Tzimtzem, he condensed, right, himself, the light of it, look at that,
Himself or he condensed the light?
what?
Did he condense the light or he condensed himself?
הנה, כשעלה ברצונו להציג, צמצם את עצמו באמצע האור שלו.
Okay.
אוקיי? בנקודת המרכז. מרכז of what? If there's no space.
מרכז of the O, or מרכז of the חלל? מרכז of the O or מרכז of the
What?
חלל? At the מרכז of the O.
There's no halal at that point.
Right.
There's no
באמצע
halal at
האור
that point.
שלו. But where's the אמצע if there's no
באמצע
space?
האור שלו, that's it. That's
So-
exactly what I'm just told you. That's exactly what I'm telling you. So,
Right, so
the Prinat HaOr, right, was in itself, the Or that we refer to is the Chelek of the Atzilut, yes? That's the inception of the Ratzon Lachshov Livro. And so he created, I know it's very complicated, because there's a lot of yesodot that we're not saying.
in one
Okay, but
sentence
that's
and
what
answer 3 questions.
that's what the Ari HaKadosh says. Okay, so his essence, right? He himself את עצמו באמצע האור שלו, אור אינסוף. בנקודת המרכז, he created the מרכז.
Okay.
ונעשה חלל, and in that center, he created a vacuum, a hole, עגול round, שהוא המקום לכל העולמות אשר עשה. And this is where all the olamot, all the creation are. פירושו, and now he's going to explain. כי להבין איך יצאו העולמות שיש להם גבול ותכלית מאת האינסוף הבלתי בעל תכלית, how can infinite create finite? בעל כוחך של לברוא העולמות, שיער את עצמו. That הקדוש ברוך הוא had to decide to limit himself in order to create the concept of limitation. בדרך מוגבל, ושיער כל העולמות שיהיו מוגבלים ושיתקוממו במקום. So he first created limitation by limiting himself in a makom. That's called a halal. For now, a world of limitation to exist and to be created. וזה היה ראשית הגבול והמקום של כל העולמות. That's the beginning of the limits, yes, and of the concept of makom, of all the creation, שנמצא בחוכמתו יתברך הבלתי בעל תכלית באותו צד שפנה אל העולם, שהוא בעל תכלית. And that's how HaKadosh Baruch Hu now turned, yes, his will and his desire to create into an ecosystem that's limited when he himself by essence is limitless.
Okay, can we stop here for 1 second for questions? Because that says Haranikat too, it's okay. I have a question.
Only if it's relevant to what's
Very
written
relevant.
here. If not,
That's relevant. There's a question with something I can't understand conceptually. He says that he decided okay, that I can't understand that concept. Because that's also a concept of time.
no,
Okay.
no.
When I say that, okay, refers to
That's how we relate to the HaKadosh Baruch Hu desire to create. You cannot understand that. I cannot understand that. Nobody can understand that because that's only him. It's beyond the concept of human understanding.
But according to Malbim, according to what he's saying, and I think that's people agree to this, Hakadosh Baruch Hu existed before he had the ratzon to create us. Okay. So one is how did Hakadosh Baruch Hu? It's very complicated. What I'm going to try to ask to myself. Forget about how Hakadosh Baruch Hu, how the whole thing came to be, but there was nothing before. But there's a time.
No, time only exists because of space. If there's no space, there's no time.
There's no space.
Time, the definition of time is the traveling of elements from one place to another that determine the concept of time. Time is a vector, okay, that is dependent on space. You take out space, there's no concept of time. There's no halal, there's no time.
Okay.
So if there was no halal, then there was no time. There was only him. Now, what?
So what happened when he decided all of a sudden that he wants to do bria?
That is no answer to that. We don't have the kelim to understand that.
And nobody attempted.
No, the Rambam says if you don't even start going there because you're going to go crazy, or you're going to turn into a kufar. There's no, you cannot. This is where the anava and the humility kicks in. That there are things we understand that we don't understand, and we will never understand.
Mm-hmm. So this whole halal and all that. So this coming from the Zohar. How do we know that? Because this is sudot of the sudot of the sudot.
That's the Zohar Kadosh. That's the Zohar Kadosh.
So
how?
Who wrote the Zohar Kadosh?
Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai.
And he was given all this information.
It was passed on from Moshe Rabbeinu.
So this is all passed down from Moshe Rabbeinu. All this information that was in the Zohar, everything here is Kadosh Baruch Hu
and revealed to Rabbi Shimon. Yes.
Okay.
So that when he was מחוקק, זה היה ראשית הגבול והמקור של כל העולמות שנמצא בחוכמתו יתברך. הבלתי בעל תכלית, right? So it's הקדוש ברוך הוא, which is limitless, right? Relating to the concept of limitation.
And the chakak was where? You didn't explain where the chakak was.
At the center of the at the merkaz.
At the merkaz where he did the chakika, and then he put the or inside? Or he chakak
At that
into
point, there's no. There was the or, like imagine the or is מתפשט בכל מקום.
Yeah.
Even though there's no מקום. Okay? There was no or also. It's not the or that we understand. Or meaning presence that שלו אין לה ממש. Okay? That we cannot even relate to.
Okay.
Okay? There was the presence of הקדוש ברוך הוא. הקדוש ברוך הוא decided now to create. So he created the halal. Okay? How did he create a halal? We're going to see in a second. Okay? And inside this halal, he created that light that the Zohar was talking about. The halal הזה,
yeah.
כן? נקרא, בלשון התורה, נקרא תצור. It's called the I guess the black hole of creation. נקר הוא חלל העיגול. That's the emptiness of the circle, the focus of the עיגול. שבו נמצא כל היצור, והוא צור עולמים. When we talk about צור עולמים, כן? We talk about what? The entire creation. נקראת הצור זה המקום where all the creation is. That's the חקיקה. That, okay? That's called the צמצום. ובזה תראה שפועל ברא. And now he's explaining why we have the word bara.
Nikrat Hatzur is what? Is because Nikrat Hatzur is where Moshe stood. No?
Nikrat Hatzur, no. Nikrat Hatzur is the halal, where the creation is inside. וזה תראה שפועל ברא, שהסכימו כולם, שהונח בעצם על הבריאה הראשונה, שהיה יש מאין, right? Everybody agrees that ברא זה יש מאין. עיקר הנחתו, like the pshat, the understanding of the word bara, מעניין, ובראת לך שם. הוא ברא את הן בחרבותיו, שהוא שעושה מקום פנוי. Bara means to create an empty space, to empty an area. בראשית ברא, כן? שלהוציא הבריאה יש מאין, עשה מקום פנוי. That's בראשית ברא. שהוא נקרא תצור, שבו יעמדו כל העולמות. Right? So HaKadosh first created an empty space within which he will create everything. שזה על ידי and how did he do it? על ידי שסילק אורו מן המקום ההוא. הקדוש ברוך הוא took out of his light in that place, כדי שלא יחזור להיות אין סוף כבתחילה. And by taking himself out, now he's no longer אין סוף in that area. והמליצה שסילק מחשבתו, עניין עצמותו, שהוא אינסוף. He basically said, I don't want to be limitless anymore. Now, meaning in this place, within me, I want to become limited. And when he said that, the halal was created with all the concept of limitation. Why? לברוא עולמות, so that he can create worlds שיש להם סוף, that are limited. ונגבלים בגבול ונתפסים במקום. So now they can exist and reside in a space that itself is limited. וזה נעשה הראשית. That's how the ראשית was created. שהוא המקום והגבול של העולמות. So בראשית ברא, הכוונה, הקדוש ברוך הוא created as a ראשית, מקום חלל of limitation. That was the beginning of everything. Yes. And now that we have a makom, you understand the Ramban that tells you that the Zman was created also Bereshit bara. You remember? We saw that in the Ramban. Yes. that the זמן התחיל בשנייה הראשונה של הבריאה. We saw it in the shiur on Monday.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes? Now, כן?
Yeah.
ושם, בעץ חיים, הנה עץ חיים, כתוב שמתחילה היה הכל אור אינסוף. At the beginning, everything was אור אינסוף. ולא היה, לא בחינת ראש, there was concept of head, ולא בחינת סוף, there was no beginning and no end. ועניין הצמצום, and the concept of limitations, that we just addressed, הוא לגלות שורש הדינים. That's how הקדוש ברוך הוא introduced the concept of judgment. לתת מידת הדין אחר כל העולמות, so that there is now judgment, which means what? Limitations and regulations in all the עולמות. And that allows structure, system, flow, etc. וכוח ההוא נקרא בוצינה דקרדנותה. And this is the light, the strong light that we're talking about. רוצה לומר כי מצד החסד, because if it was from the חסד והקדוש ברוך הוא, יכול להשפיע ולהאיר אורו. Right? This is infinite. The chesed is infinity, abundance, with non-stop. ואז היה כל אור אינסוף. And if that's the case, then yes, you would be in the concept of limitless, of infinity. ולא היה אפשרות לעולמות שהם בעלי גבול. And that was, if so, you cannot have now a world that is limited, existing in an environment of infinity. Therefore, הוכרח לצמצם האור. He had to limit the light. ולתת לו מידה, and give it measure, גבול and limitation, ולעמיתו, and to make it smaller. לפי מה שיוכל כל העולם לסבול, so that all the world can now support and exist in that רצון environment. והגבלה זו, and that limitation, נעשה בשם אלוקים. Was created, right, through the name Elokim, שהוא מידת הדין, which is judgment. שעל זה אמר בראשית ברא אלוקים. כן? So בראשית, כן? That's the חקיקה. ברא is the חלל. אלוקים is the מידת הדין והגבולות. שבמקום הראשית, which is the חלל, והוא המקום אשר גבל ומדד וקצב, שבו עמדו העולמות, right? כן? שהוא הנקרא ראשית, that's what ראשית means, כי האין סוף, אין לו ראש ואין סוף, right? The ראשית, נכון? Because the אין סוף, there's no beginning and no end. So what is ראשית? ראשית is the חלל, the מקום. עכשיו, זה גילוי מידת
Halal
הדין.
before the light, before he put.
כן, כן. כן, שם על ידי גילוי מידת הדין, ושם אלוקים המודד ונותן גבול וצמצום, with the מידת הדין, which is the light, that's the light, right? That's the light that we were referred to. It gives now structure ולimitation, ברא היינו שהניח מקום פנוי. That's the תוצאה. Now there was, right, you have the, like first, for example, you have a circle, and then you erase what's inside the circle, and now you have a space, empty space. Bereshit is the circle, bara, erase. No, sorry, the erasement is Elokim. Bara is the outcome, right? The empty space. שבמקום הראשית, והוא המקום אשר גבל ומדד וקצב שבו עמדו העולמות, שהוא הנקרא ראשית, כי האין סוף, אין לו ראש הסוף, סוף שם על ידי הצילום. ברא היינו שהניח מקום פנוי, שבו יעמדו שמיים וארץ של כל העולם. ולפי זה, right, like we said.
Yeah. So Bereshit is the circle.
בראשית הזו אלוקים is erasing.
Is erasing.
That's מידת הדין. And bara is the halal that's inside that's
The
created after
result,
you erase
the result, basically.
the result. ולפי זה, ולפי השגתנו, right? That's obviously a concept that's related to our understanding. אבל לפי האמת, but in reality, look how he
אין
flips.
מי יש.
כן? פרה אין מיש. Why? Because he's a yesh. כי הוא היש האמיתי. Because הקדוש ברוך הוא is the real yesh. אני נמצא מחויב במציאות. That exists no matter what. הוא פינה מקום לעולמות, right? And create emptiness for the
Worlds, yeah.
exist. שהם עין בערכו, right? And compared to הקדוש ברוך הוא, thank you so much. And compared to הקדוש ברוך הוא, they are עין to the יש. וכל זה עשה להראות טובו והשגחתו. All the creation is for what purpose? To show his good and how he cares on his creation. שהם שפלים, even though they are very low, וכעין and are like they're like nothing compared to him.
Yeah, nothing, yeah.
That's what it means when Chazal say, when you see the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shema tamotzei anvatanuto. This is where you find also his anava, his humility. Why? Shesiluk oro, because by taking away his light, yechune b'shem ga'al. His light.
Yeah, you're disconnecting every other word. Are you under Wi-Fi?
Okay.
Are you under Wi-Fi or no?
Yes, I'm on the Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi with my phone. Where did I miss you?
No, it's every other word. ולפי זה מה שאנחנו אומרים שברא יש מאין לפי השגחתנו, אבל לפי האמת ברא אין מיש, אין מיש, אוקיי? כי הוא היש האמיתי הנמצא מחויב במציאות, כי הוא פנה מקום לעולמות שהם אפשר המציאות, שהם אין בערכו. וכל זה עשה להודות, אוקיי? באין בערכו. ולפי, אוקיי, וזה פירש מה שכתוב, that's where we are.
Okay. Basically, it's coming to explain everywhere you find the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you find his anava. You find his. With me?
Yeah, you got
Because
disconnected again. Every time you find the
greatness
of the
of
Kadosh Baruch,
Hashem,
yeah,
you find the anava, his anava. You see his anava.
okay. Just
Okay?
okay.
Why? Because he says by by taking away and being misalek his light, his essence, his presence. That's called ga'ava. Okay? When he takes away his light, his presence, that's considered ga'ava. Why is that considered ga'ava? כדרר המתגאה שמסתיר פניו מן
I think something in your connection is not good there. I think it's breaking up every other second. Just go on their Wi-Fi.
Hold on.
Just stop. Just ask them for the Wi-Fi.
So basically, wherever you find the ga'ava, the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you find his anava. And he explains the concept. He says, by having HaKadosh Baruch Hu taking away of his light, it's called ga'ava. Why is that called ga'ava? Because who's the ga'avtan? Who's the egocentric? The person that takes away his face from the one that he feels is below him. Right? You go away from the one that's below. That's called ga'ava.
Okay. Okay.
אבל זה היה כדי that's usually that's what גרפטן does, but in this specific case זה היה כדי שימצאו עולמות שפלים בערכו. Why did הקדוש ברוך הוא do this? He didn't do this because he wanted to go away from the little one, but to give room for what is insignificant to exist and to be created. והוא מראה על מתנותו שמשגיח ושוכן עליהם. And that's how הקדוש ברוך הוא shows his his humility by
Yeah.
taking himself away in order to create and look after, yes, the shefalim. Good?
Yes.
Now
Many,
we have
many questions. Okay.
ma baya.
Ma baya.
Okay.
Ma lo baya. There's so many questions on this whole situation.
Ma.
And on the is it okay, again, I guess we can't understand. Amen. I think the question is, what's really the really what's the need of the Bria and what's the need at this
There's no need. The need of the Bria is not a question.
why like
Why did he do it? להראות טובו והשגחתו. That's it.
למי? טס?
למי שהוא רצה.
למי הוא? אין אף אחד אחר חוץ ממנו.
הוא רוצה את זה. אז זה מה שהוא רצה.
The
זה מה שהוא רצה.
the point is, so it's to show us.
כן?
Only to show us.
כן? Only to show us, נכון.
But again, let's take the fact that this is a Kadosh Baruch Hu and talk like this is a human being, because you can't have this conversation about a Kadosh Baruch Hu.
No. This is where you're making a mistake. The moment you start trying to understand what happened before creation, you cannot relate to HaKadosh Baruch Hu as a concept that you can of a human being. This is the biggest mistake. You cannot.
Okay, so it's not it's after creation, but you're saying that he created us, so he has to show to show his mercy, to show his love.
Because he wants to, not because he has to.
Okay, I understand. Um, why would he want to do it?
There's no why. Because you're asking a question prior to the creation. That's your question. You're asking before he created, what would he want to create?
Well, okay. Why after creation? Why does a Kadosh Baruch Hu care what we think? We're insignificant. You just say we're insignificant.
Because he created us, he cares.
Okay.
Because he created us.
Okay, so now he creates, okay, bravo. So he creates somebody, us, the world, that basically, in order to satisfy his need, that we will appreciate the fact that he cares for us.
That's right.
It's almost a circular situation.
נכון. That's exactly what it is.
You could say it's created for self-satisfaction, but what's self-satisfaction? Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't need self-satisfaction. There is no self-satisfaction. Although when you read the Torah, it's a lot about satisfying Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Ken.
Korbanot, this, terech, nichoach. So it looks like he created the world. He created us, so
that we can serve him, and by serving him, he can reward us. And by rewarding us, we do a chesed to him because what he created the world is in order to give us.
Right. So it's circular, and it makes him feel good.
That's right.
But
whatever concept meaning making feel good means, because he doesn't feel.
That's my question. Okay, with that, because we don't know what that means. Why does the Kadosh Baruch Hu need us to make him feel good?
Because that's what he decided.
Okay, that's the question, really. At the end of the day,
there's no answer to that. So you understand, why did he create? There's no answer to that. Why did Hashem want to create? There's no answer to the creation. There's no answer to that. Can the computer answer why man created computer? If you ask a computer, why
did HaKadosh Baruch Hu create the world? I wonder what he would say. No, why did a man create the computer? I'm sure you can ask.
If you ask a computer, no.
Ask ChatGPT.
Why did man create you? No, not a computer. It's going to give you an answer of another computer.
Let's see. Why did man create you? ChatGPT. Humans created me to process information, gather text, and assist with reasoning, writing, and analysis.
Who fed that information? Man fed that information.
Internal training data, technical.
You see, the computer. If it's not the computer,
man gave you this information. Yes, all my information.
You see, the computer himself cannot answer.
How do you know that that is the real reason that man created you if you're relying on inputs from man? Because I can only infer intent and observable facts, documents, design. I cannot verify motives beyond that evidence.
Exactly. That's the answer. That's exactly the answer that we have, okay, in the creation. ChatGPT gave you that answer.
It's yeah, this is it's a bit more complex than this. Yeah.
It's not complex at all. It's not complex at all. It's complex because we are egocentric and because we don't accept that we don't understand and that we're limited. That's why it's complex.
To me, there's two questions, right? What happened that at that specific moment, I don't know, there's no time, but then that Akadosh Baruch Hu decided, because we can't understand that either. What do you mean that moment? What, he had coffee in the morning and said, "Okay, I have nothing to do. Let me create." In the world, it's not like,
Exactly.
what does that mean?
Exactly.
I
Okay, I have to.
have to go to the boss.